that ain't from this planet.
They told me I couldn't be free, told me I couldn't be me, told me I couldn't be the flame, couldn't have my fame, the name, the legendary game. They said a lot of things right straight to my face, but you know what? Eventually, I just became something I always wanted, became something more than a mother's daughter, became free, became me, became what you don't see, yet now they see, don't understand, never new to me, it's energy, it's legacy, it's divine prophecies.
Crazy to look back at goals that I've set like years ago, and a lot of those goals I've either achieved, I'm still working on, I'm reformatting them, and just going over them and seeing, have I achieved this goal, or is there more to do on this goal? And I've always been goal oriented since I was young, I guess. I'm still young, but since I was, in my 20s and my teens, I've always just had a vision for myself, and that I think has kept me grounded in a sense to guide me in a certain direction. Now, I always haven't gone in that certain direction. Sometimes I've taken detours and whatnot, but it's allowed me to stay grounded within where I want to be, who I want to be, and why I want to be this. And not just be it, but really dedicate myself to understand it on a deeper level, whether that's spiritually, whether that's, just intellectually, mentally. I want to say physically too. And what I mean by deeper in a physical way is the body measurements, the understanding my body type and why it is the way it is, or why it functioned, because I've struggled. I've had a lot of setbacks with my own body, and a lot of that connects to your mental health. A lot of that connects to just your destiny and your goals and where you want to be, how you want to see yourself, how you want to look, yada yada yada. So it's so important to keep in mind environments, things that you may not necessarily think of, but places where you live, people you connect with, and just certain things like that. I live in a fast-paced world. I currently reside in California, and California is very fast-paced depending on, what you're doing. I'm currently pursuing a bachelor's degree, 2 bachelor's degree. I'm, working on my own business. I'm creating music. So there's a lot of things that I'm doing, and I love it because it allows me to navigate life in a very unique way, I feel. But allows me to connect to multiple different people along their journey as well, too. And it gives me a lot of insight. It gives me a lot of strength, a lot of wisdom to understand other people's journey and why they're at where they're at, and whatnot, but also how it can reflect within my own world and what I can work on for my own self and how I see myself as well. Because we should always be evolving. We should always be changing and transitioning and really understanding ourselves deeper and understanding where we want to go, even if we don't know, right? We may not know exactly what we want, but we can have ideas, inspirations, based on other people, based on things we, gravitate towards and whatnot. And that's just the beauty of life. There's so much within this world that we can discover. And it's keeping an open mind to a certain extent of, this looks interesting, or this sounds scary, but I kind of still am drawn into it. I mean, there's just so many ways to look at it in a very intellectual way. But there can be certain things like fear and doubt and all these things that can limit us and set us backwards and not continue. And that's something that I've had to really, really work on for myself, is not allowing these doubts, these fears, these setbacks, these, things that I struggle with eternally, but externally as well, like money, physical ailments, and just certain pathways that I want to be at, but there may be blocks in my way. And I like to look at it as not as necessary blocks, but just like challenges to overcome, to really build my strength, build my endurance and my resilience to keep moving forward. Now, I haven't always had that mindset. I had to really sit with myself, dive deep within myself, and connect with others as well to really understand that mindset, or shift myself into that mindset as well. And that's why I really enjoyed this Leap to Confidence book. I actually took this class twice just because I was like, I want to see a different perspective on it. And I think perspective is so important because I believe we all have a different perspective. We just all also may want to follow a crowd or not have developed our intellectual self within our own perspective in areas of our life. And what I mean by that is you could believe in something, right? And you could have this perspective based on what you've been taught, what you've been told your whole entire life. And that is based on your own understanding of life and what you believe, right? But it's when you come across other people that have a whole totally different perspective or a whole totally different life that kind of like give you like a mind blown moment where it's just like, that's a shift happening right within that, right? It's a shift that's creating a new perspective. I think a big change for me in perspective was based on my belief system, religion, and spirituality. I've always been one to want to gain a connection closer to God and understand God more. And what happened for me was understanding God more was I went through certain experiences. I've connected with different types of people, different belief systems, different tools, practices that, led me even closer to God to understand who He is and why these tools are placed where they're placed. Because there's so much within these tools, within these systems, within these beliefs that matter and that are truly effective for certain individuals, but not all individuals. And that's the beauty of God, is He's an aspect of all of us. But there's so much more to that too. I could literally talk all day about this. But the point I'm trying to make with what I'm sharing, my message, and just the guidance I feel that I really truly want to give to people is don't stick to one perspective. Don't have, one way of living or believing or seeing how things work out for you. This levels down to your goals, to your habits, to all these things. Because what I've learned within my life journey at 34 is not all tools that will work for you a year later, 2 years later, 10 years later. Sometimes you do have to go back to the basics to understand why they're not working and if they are truly working for you. But there's always shifts and changes that you can make within these tools and perspectives to help you just continue to become a better version of self. But anywho, that's enough wisdom and shit for today. Like, comment, subscribe if you found anything within this message interesting, fun, and just hopeful. Also, leave me a comment and tell me what tool that has helped you, aided you in your success to your goals, achievements, whatever it is. And don't forget, check out all my music on all streaming platforms. My newest song coming out, Monkey See, Monkey Do, December 31st, baby, right before the new year. Let's go. And then I also have 3 songs already out on all streaming platforms: Heyoka Shit, No Limits, and Revolution 1111. These songs are to empower you, uplift you, and help you tap into your power and remind yourself of who the fuck you are. So, peace, love, and light. Cheerio.